Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Fortnite video. So in last night's video, we did basically how to aim like a pro in Fortnite Season 6 because a lot of things have changed since the last time I made a better to aim video. I think it's been like 6 or 7 months. You know, of course, Fortnite changes weekly pretty much to the meta. So that was all shifted, and the building meta has recently been shifted so much. I thought I'd make a video on sort of how to build better, how to build like a pro. Gonna focus on tips mostly that will apply to console, but some tips will apply to console, but the majority of them will probably apply to every single platform. So no matter if you're a mobile player or a PC player, you can probably learn a couple things from this video. If you guys could smack a like on this thing, let's go for 1,500 likes. The support has been amazing on these videos so far, and I know this is what you guys want to see. So support it. Smack that like button. Let's go for 1,500. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We're closing in on 600,000 subscribers, so I appreciate all the new subscribers. And also, if you guys want to support the channel, a way to support the channel just by buying skins out of the item shop like you regularly will do, my support a creator code is the Goblin YT. I'll show it up on the screen right there, and basically all you have to do is go into the Fortnite item shop, press square and type in that code, and then whenever you buy a skin, it basically supports my channel and gives a percentage of the skin instead of going to Epic Games to the creator. So a very, very cool thing. Anyway, gonna talk about some building tips and tricks and how I think building is so important, and it's really such a tough learning curve in Season 6, and we'll cover all of that. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing is, and this gameplay here, or there's two gameplays here that I got that weren't really high wins, but I thought they showed off some pretty clean gameplay and clean building. But the first thing is, with the way the game has changed, because I want to make my tip videos updated to the time, right? So as of right now, the glider redeploy is a feature available in the game. And what that does is it basically allows you to essentially get a free jump pad and jump off of anywhere 3 stories or higher and just glide, deploy your glider. It's a redeploy feature, which is completely game changing. Now, the reason why is because that is great for either chasing down kills, or people who are smart players will use it to run away, much like this guy who I chase across the whole map before I eventually fight him, and then I run out of materials. So at this point, I can't fight this guy in a build battle. Of course, if I could just easily take that high ground, but I had to take him on in a gunfight because of the fact that he ran away and I chased him all the way out of retail, and I used so much material. So I really think that because of the way that it goes with people flying away, running away, people chasing down kills, materials are going to be used more than ever. And this past week, I've been using, like you can see it, the end stats of games, I've been using more mats than ever, and it's just been absolutely insane. So I think farming mats is a major key, and building has never been more important. So let's go through some basic tips before we get to the more advanced stuff. Basic tips: you want to use Builder Pro. If you're on console, Builder Pro is the way to go. That's like the only way you'll be able to keep up with the way people build, is having a Builder Pro, as well as lowering down your edit. Now, the thing with sensitivities, and I know I'll talk about it because everyone always loves to talk about sensitivities when it comes down to building. I talked about it in my last video for aiming, because it is a big thing. As far as your X and Y sensitivity, those don't really matter when it comes to building anymore. What matters is the building sensitivity, and I have recently changed mine. I was rocking a 1.3 in my settings video, but I said in my settings video I was going to gradually work my way up. So now I'm rocking a 1.5 building sense, and if you watch the gameplays, you can see here, I can build and turn around very quickly while I have the builds out, but it doesn't punish me because when I switch to my gun, my sensitivity is my normal X and Y sense, which is a YY. So I definitely, what I recommend doing with building sensitivity, I think that is the major key, and the biggest key to be a better builder, is start that out wherever you feel comfortable. I felt comfortable at 1.3, and then ramp that up gradually over the days. I'm at a 1.5 right now, but there's no reason I might not be at, or I may be at a 1.6 or 1.7 more in the future, because essentially the faster you can get that to go, the faster you're going to be able to build. And that's the first thing I would say. Builder Pro and a high building sensitivity are pretty much needed when it comes down to it. Now, as far as normal building techniques, what's really made me a better builder, and you'll see in these gameplays, I don't really mess up my build as much as I used to, is practicing in Playground and getting used to a sensitivity, and also placing floors. Floors are the key. So many times, and so many players will be decent builders, but they'll always get stuck underneath their ramps. They'll try to build a ramp and jump through it, basically, as it's building. You guys know the move, but it'll always block them off. And that was a big problem I kept having, and the reason why that doesn't happen to me as much anymore is because I've practiced using flats, and when you place a flat, it gives you that extra sort of height, which allows you to get the ramp up, and you really don't get yourself stuck underneath the stairs as much, as often. Using floors is a major key. Now, to improve on your building, I recommend playing Playground, going to the towers, just getting materials, and practicing, just building, practicing getting used to that building sensitivity. Some important things when it comes to building in this game is a couple things. First of all, don't overbuild. That was my problem when the building sensitivity changed. And like I said, these tips, they're general tips, but they're more updated to the times, right? And I think that's what's important is that, this game is evolving and changing constantly. It's basically a different game. It's Season 6 compared to Season 4. It's completely changed, right? So current tips are what's very important. Practice using a high building sensitivity and go into playground mode and basically work on your building like that. Now, in order to build in this game, there's a couple basic maneuvers that you pretty much need to be able to do. And I will show a couple of those maneuvers up on the screen right now. Basically, if you don't know how to do these, you should probably go into playground and practice these moves, because these are the moves that are going to be essential to you in your actual gameplay. Now, the first move is going to be simply reinforcing your ramps. Now, this isn't as important now because if you get knocked down, you can always just fly away. However, it still is important when rushing people, and basically what you want to do when you are reinforcing your ramps, it's very simple. You either reinforce them with one wall, basically a ramp wall, or you do a triple reinforce with a floor. This stuff is fairly easy to do once you're on Builder Pro and have a decent sensitivity. You just have to go into a playground and practice that. The next move that I recommend knowing is being able to double ramp above your head, basically to block off enemy fire. These are, what I'm giving you guys right now, are pretty easy moves that are stuff you should know how to do all these, right? So reinforcing ramps. Next one is going to be covering your head when you're ramping up, just so the enemies, they can still get a shot in from the side, but they won't get as clean as a shot in most of the time. The next thing, of course, is building a 1x1 base, which everyone should be able to do by now. That's pretty self-explanatory, just to gain height advantage. And then the new fastest way to get height advantage, which is basically the 90-degree turn, and you can see some footage of it. I'll go to playground right after I'm recording this and get some footage to show you guys while I'm talking about it. But these are moves that I definitely recommend going into playground and practicing. I've probably spent maybe a couple hours in playground over the last couple of weeks, and it has improved my building tenfold. Whenever you see a new move, whenever you're struggling with something in games and it's costing you games, go into playground, take that time and focus on your building. Focus on aiming can be done in a normal match, maybe 50v50, something like that. Focus on building can be done in playground, and then decision making just comes with playing over time, right? And making smart decisions. The more you play, the more knowledge you'll have as far as the game goes. So those are some tips I would say. The main thing on how to build better, make sure your sensitivity is good, go to playground and practice, and make sure you can do all of these basic maneuvers. Once you can do those, when you go into the game, there's some more in-game tips I have for you, which is number one, don't overbuild. If the player is bad, if it's a noob looking player that doesn't come off the ground, don't go 10 stories above them and waste 500 mats, because with the zombies running around nowadays, a lot of people are focusing on killing the zombies and not farming. So a lot of times, even if you'll get a lot of kills because the glider redeploy feature, you won't have that many mats going into late game because you're using so much and the enemies are using so much, and they don't have as much because they aren't farming as much because they're killing the zombies for shield or for challenges or who knows what it is. So conserving mats can be kind of key. Although I say conserve them against a noob player, if it's late game or if it's against a good player, it's not a waste of mats if you don't die. Use everything when it comes down to that. So definitely farm it up. Make sure you have materials is the key. And also just being able to get high ground fast, being able to practice your 90-degree turns, being able to practice just one by one, and getting height advantage quick is a major key, because when you have that height advantage, not only are you looking down on the enemy player who has to look up on you, if things get too hot or if you have to make a rotation, just throw a couple more ramps up and fly away to the next zone. Being up high and building has never been as important as it is with this latest Fortnite mares and with the glider redeploy feature, which I think the Fortnite mares will probably be changed to a featured mode, but I think the glider redeploy will probably stay in the game. So it's so important to make sure you know what you're doing while building. And if you can't, if you aren't a good builder, definitely head into playground mode, practice doing different builds, find a sensitivity that's comfortable for you, and practice these basic maneuvers that that if you can get the hang of are ones that you'll use pretty much every single game. There's fancy maneuvers that, you know, maybe I'll make another video on advanced building techniques, but I want to show you practical stuff that you can use every game, and that's what this video was about. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this thing. You can see right there, I just easily build up, block him, get height advantage, and then once you're above them, it's an easy kill. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.